Hey there, Coach Patrick here, and I am with my client Tom, who just finished his 12-week midlife makeover program, and I wanted to share his success story with you. But before we dive in, my name is Patrick Lyden, also known as Coach Patrick, and I help midlife adults get back to looking and feeling their best again so they can crush their second half of life. I do that mainly through my 12-week midlife makeover program, which, as I said, Tom just finished, and he absolutely crushed it. So welcome, Tom.
Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah, I'm happy we can line this up, man. I appreciate you being here. And let's get started with learning a little bit more about you. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and all that jazz.
Yeah, well, I'm 34. I live in Westminster, Mass. I work in the industrial cooling field mainly for, manufacturers, temperature controlled and water and air rooms as an installing estimator. It keeps me busy, but mostly stationary throughout the day because I'm more in the office. I have a son, which keeps me life very interesting uh, and very full. Growing up, I played soccer, basketball, I did track, but in recent years, constant exercise took a little bit of a back step to work life responsibilities and father responsibilities. And before starting this program, my workouts were irregular and lacked structure.
Nice. Yeah. No, I think did you say you were 34?
Yep.
Yeah, 34. So you have a new son. I'm just trying to paint the picture here. We have a new son. And I've known you from years ago. You were a member at my gym, and you got in pretty good shape back then.
Did.
You were doing a lot of obstacle course races, and you were working out pretty hard.
Yep.
What changed? What was the main thing that changed from then? And how old were you then? I'm trying to remember if you were in your
Oh,
20s.
I was in my 20s. I had to be in my 20s. It was a while ago.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe 10 years ago ish. And then what happened? Like you were at this fit state that life changed, and then you got to a point where you weren't happy, right?
Well, yeah, I just like I felt stuck. Grayson was born. There was responsibilities to help my wife and family out there. My energy was really low. Body felt pretty heavy and slower. I wasn't really happy. Didn't look myself mentally. I wasn't there anymore. It just kind of, faded down to where I was like, I just want to stay home and watch my son grow up. But now he's getting older and he runs, he does things. And I was frustrated, lacking motivation, and then added to boot, I tried to get back into working out and I hit it too hard, not slowing my way in there or doing the proper things. And I snapped my Achilles because I didn't stretch and my body was not there anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that because I had seen you on Facebook, your Achilles injury,
Yeah.
pretty tough injury, right?
Oh,
And that can definitely set you back. I think for a lot of guys, like I put you in the midlife category because guys 30 to 40 are like entering midlife, that midlife phase, right? And I know I was there. I'm 48 now, but I was there too, like where life just starts catching up,
oh
right?
yeah.
And then like with house, work, responsibilities, family, having a newborn son, and then add an injury, like an Achilles tendon rupture is can definitely make fitness and health more of a challenge than anything, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I mean, we stayed in touch through Facebook a few times. I messaged you a few times, and then can you kind of tell that story a little bit of like how you ended up starting out with the program?
Yeah. So I obviously knew about you from your old gym and we stayed in touch, you know, goal and oriented. You're in the fitness field, and I really wanted something that not necessarily catered to me, but um, like a one-on-one type of person, more personal instead of gym oriented. Like gym oriented is great. Everyone gets along. We all help each other out. but you're focused on a group all at once. And I wanted especially just specific, what do I need, and you do both. And I love that. And coming to you, we had a connection back in the day, and I trusted you, and it was awesome. We hooked up, and here we are now.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. Yeah, we've like I said, we've known each other for a while, so like even just reconnecting with you and talking to
Yep.
you each week and stuff like that has been awesome. You're a great guy, man. I'm just as a side note, but good family man,
Yep.
good husband. So I always enjoyed our check-in calls each week. So let's say 3 months before the you started with me, where were you physically, mentally, emotionally? Like where, paint that picture for me if you could.
I was stuck. You know, all the way from walking upstairs in the office, and then my house, I have lots of stairs. There's stairs everywhere. God forbid, I'm about to build an elevator for grandparents and everything, or for myself and
Yeah.
McKatie. And it actually hit me really hard when my Achilles snapped. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything around the house. I couldn't walk down the stairs without going on my butt. But I was heavy. To me, I was always in the 175 to 190 range. I was always kind of around there. And then it's more of I just kind of gave up. So I was very heavy. I was mentally just not there either, lack of focus. Um, and I just didn't feel myself right at all. It wasn't a pleasant feeling at all, just to sum that up. I didn't like it. Mentally, I can keep going, but it was not, I didn't like it.
Yeah. No, I think there's something another client had said. He's like, same scenario, right? And it's like you feel like less than, right?
Yes.
Like less than you can be and less than you're capable of.
Yeah.
And I think that's that feeling that I know I've had in the past. My story, I'll share at some point, but yeah, that feeling of like less than you're capable of, and like you want to be the best you can for yourself, for your family. It's hard,
Yeah.
and feeling stuck about like what to do, where to go, and stuff is a challenge as well. So then, okay, so we hook up, we end up starting this program. What was your first thoughts on it, like when as we get started?
I was nervous because at my heaviest before you, because a month beforehand, I clicked in. I was like, okay, stop drinking. So I cold turkey. It's about 5 months now, not drinking, which is great. But if that 1 month before you, I was almost 240. I was like 230 and change. It was not good. So stop drinking. And then I just started eating uh, what I thought was okay. I wasn't eating enough. I tell you that much, as you probably knew that. But then I dropped weight real quick. When we started, I think I was 200. And the reason why I believe I dropped that much weight is the alcohol and fast food. I mean, I'm a good cooker. I love to cook. I cook for my family, but I got lazy and was like, we're just gonna get pizza. Chinese food. Hibachi. Just random stuff. So before we hooked up, it was pretty severe for me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, you've come a long way, man. Congrats on your success. And so you're at a pretty tough spot. We start working together. What did you like about the program?
Oh, what did I like about the program? There's so many aspects to the program that you created that, let's go first off, even if it is customized to me or it's customized to somebody else or a group, you take in consideration of, what their ability is, what do they have to work with? Are they going to be, you asked, what's your lifestyle after work? I have a kid. I have things to do. Your structure was around the, I wouldn't say family oriented, but like if you have a family, if you are stressed out after work, it's 35 to 40 minutes, and the nutrition is, you know, spot on to where you need it. You always ask the questions: Are you hungry? Are you full? You know, it was great to say, "Holy crap!" I'm eating a ton of food, but I feel good because I wasn't eating enough, or not the I wouldn't say proper foods, but like, why was I eating? Before that, it was like pizza and stuff, but now that I realize it, like, oh,
Motion
welcome
light.
to the life of office with. There you go. Hey guys.
I'm
Um,
back. Yeah.
uh, it was cool to see how my mental and ability to change just by eating correctly in the macro, like the amount of food. Everyone always says, "Oh, I eat enough. Oh, I'm just gonna skip lunch. I ate a ton of food." No, your body needs to eat. So that's why I really liked it. And in the workouts, I told you what I had at my house. You worked around it, and it was great. And if I had any questions or any things that you want to tweak or we had to tweak, you did it. And it was, the video feedback of showing me things, it was spot on.
Awesome, man. No, that's great. So what was your number one challenge, I should say? What was the number one thing during the 12 weeks of us working together? What would you say was like your number one challenge?
It was getting the time to work out and motivation. My motivation was really, really tough to get going.
Yeah.
My biggest challenge was staying consistent when life got too busy, or the work, the stress, the time constraints. I just fell off track almost. But then I learned on the program's structure and the coaching support, and to stay accountable for what my actions were. It was that was it. I learned that discipline matters more than motivation in my head. The small wins per day led to big results over time for me.
Yeah, no, that's so true. Like we every week we talked about non-scale victories and like even the smallest celebrations, like if you focus on those, you get more of those,
Yep.
and those just keep compounding over time. But you kind of answered the back end part of that question was like how'd you work through it? So like your number one challenge was the motivation piece, but if you could have even elaborated, I'm like, how did you get past that? Because I think a lot of people will struggle with getting motivated or even I don't want to say even worse, but like waiting for motivation, like waiting for all of a sudden like something to like magically like fall from the sky and you're motivated, right? Like, how did you get motivated? Like, how did you work through that challenge?
Well, we did talk about, because it was really hard to get motivated in the gym. One of the aspects you talked to me about, which was really good, is music. Play a song that really gets you amped up, half hour to 45 minutes before, or even sooner, 10 minutes, and get in the mindset. Also, I felt weak sometimes. Now, why was I weak? Well, because I looked at my app and I was low on macros. I was low on food, even though I was eating throughout the day. Eat a snack maybe to amp you up, a little bit of sugar, an apple or some fruit or something, get you motivated some there. The biggest motivation factor was, where I started to where I was then. You see progress. Is it a lot of progress in the beginning? It could be. But when you see progress, I keep saying to myself, it's getting better. Let's keep going. And then you slowly get into the workout, and I got pumped, like
Yeah.
physically got pumped, and just kept going.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like results become addictive,
Yes.
right? Like and I think this is sometimes where people struggle with it is like they go to the gym, they're eating their way, right? Whatever method they're following, and they're not seeing results because they're either not training optimally or they're not eating optimally specific to them. Therefore, they don't see results and they're not that engaged with going because it's like, oh, I'm not looking any better. I'm not feeling any better. Clothes aren't fitting any better. I don't have better energy levels. So therefore, is this even working? And they stop, right? They quit too early. But when you start something that's very specific to you and you're dialed in and nutrition and your training and you start it, like it's not easy. It's not like not it's it takes discipline, right? But it's a lot easier when you're feeling better and you're starting to see results because that becomes addictive. And you, 12 weeks, 13 weeks later, as you finished last week or the week before, and like you're we'll go over your results in a second because this is like the best part, like the results that you've had. And but once you start feeling results and you're at the point where you're at, it's like you're almost, I would think, addicted to that feeling of feeling as good as you do because you were as far, you let yourself go, right? Like that's just being point blank. And when you let yourself go pretty far, it feels really darn good when you're at where you're at
Oh,
and
absolutely.
it becomes a lot easier.
Sure.
But yeah, let's dive into your results, man. So like what um the big thing that all transformational change happens with body shedding body fat, building muscle. So share like what kind of results you've got in that end.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but when I first started, I was always not complaining, but saying, hey, those planks suck.
Yes. You're not the only one that says that, actually.
Yeah, it was terrible. Then, a couple weeks went by after doing planks, and I'm like, I'm I'm holding myself up. And the result was because I was losing mass, but a little bit of body fat, and I got stronger, gained muscle, and that was huge results for me. The mirror factor. You look in the mirror, obviously, wow, you're looking better, you're more confident, which was unbelievable. Walking up the stairs, mowing my lawn, that's a whole nother story. I have as you know, I too much mowing, and I do it all by hand because I can't get up right on mower there.
And it's like
And
this, right? Yeah.
yeah, the hill is
Section.
unbelievable. It's my hill climbs
Yeah.
twice, 2 times a week. And the results were just phenomenal. Breathing better, sleeping better. Holy cow. I wish my wife was here to tell me this because I toss and turn at night when I was pretty heavy. I didn't know why because I was uncomfortable, wasn't doing anything. Sleeping good, sleeping way better. Um, it just there's multiple levels of results, but one was noticing that I can do things easier, and two was the physical.
Yeah.
I love the physical change. The confidence in your head it feels good.
Yeah, no, I can remember like a couple weeks in seeing you because like usually you don't see the changes for a few weeks, right? Like you can feel them,
Yep.
but takes a while to see them. And I remember hopping in, it was probably like week 3 or week 4. We hop on our check-in call and I'm looking at you like this and I see your face. I'm like, oh, I'm like, I can see your face starting to change. And then like a couple weeks later, I'm like, his shirts, like you can see your shirt starting to change, like just your body, your shirts look a lot baggier on you, you know?
Yep.
And then I think a couple weeks later, you came in with like a tight fitting shirt on. I'm like, dude, you're getting ripped. You're
Yep.
getting fit. But yeah, it was kind of cool to see your transformational change just from me looking at you on the screen. And then so weight loss is always the big number. Everybody's like, oh, I want to lose weight. I want to do stuff. So like, if you wouldn't mind touching upon that a little bit, like where you started, where you got to.
So before starting with you, it was like 230, 240. Then I started with you, it was 200 exact, which was a very weird coincidence.
Yeah.
200 even, and then dropped real quick. Then there's that, I call it the stall. If anybody knows about smoking meat, is when the fat burns and the muscle grows. There's that stall where you're burning fat, but you're gaining muscle. So you're right there. And that
Yeah.
was a couple of weeks of just a number,
Yeah.
or a couple of days, sorry, a couple of days of just a number. And then after that, week by week, drop, drop, drop. I think we ended at 178, I believe.
Yeah.
I, I we ended around 178.
Yeah.
So from 200 to 178, I
Yeah.
feel unbelievable.
Yeah. And are you at your I know you have goals here. Like you want to keep going and keep transforming. I get that for sure. But you went from, and this is something like to me, like knowing the science behind things and knowing how your body transforms. You went from 240 to 200, which is a amazing feat, right? As you get closer to goal weight of like, what is your goal target? We had talked
One
about like
175.
So 175. Yeah. And we talked about a range of like 175 to 180, I think it was. Like it was your target range for
Yep.
us working together.
Yep.
So I think it was you were either 177 or 178. I have to look at your target.
Roughly around there. I believe it was
Yeah.
177, to be honest. Yeah.
Yep. So the 12 weeks we worked together, the goal was to get from 200 to, sub 180, really. Uh,
Yep.
and then like to get to your target, it gets a little bit harder as you go, right? Like when you're at 240 to lose weight, you have more weight to lose. And when you make changes, your body will shed that weight quicker. The early weight loss is the easy stuff. The latter weight loss is the harder stuff. But you did it, man. You did such a good job of, I always told you each one of our check-ins, I'm like, man, I'm so proud of you. You're checking boxes. Like you're doing the things you're supposed to be doing. Was it perfect? No, but we talked about that in the beginning. Like you don't need to be perfect to see results. Well, in wrapping up, man, I am super proud of you. Loved having you as a client. You were a pleasure to work with, and
Thanks.
I'm proud of you what you did because knowing that you have a young son, you have a wife, you have a family, you have a lot of responsibilities at home and stuff, and for you to be able to do what you did, it makes me so proud as a coach that you were able to crush it as well as you did, man. I loved working with you, Tom. So I wish you nothing but success going forward. And I'm always here for you as your coach. So, and hopefully this story will touch some other people, inspire some other people, and get them, get them out there moving and taking action to reclaim their health, rebuild their body, and get back to looking and feeling their best again. So as they go into their midlife years, or whether they're heading in like you are, or they're already there, like it's never too late to transform and get your health back. So proud of you, man.
Absolutely. I couldn't do it without you.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. All right, we'll catch up soon.
Sounds good.